Rascal Flatts and Still Feels Good. You're listening to WTIF and WFFM, and it is the time you have all, and me for sure, have been waiting for all week long. Cheyenne Knight is here in the studio with us, and I told you guys a little bit about her already. She is from Bethlehem, Georgia, and she is so talented. She is just, and the sweetest thing. It's always fun when I have people in here that they're easy to talk to, and they're fun, and I love the fact that she is young, and she is on fire about her music, and that is going to make it an even more amazing interview. So let's welcome Cheyenne to the show. Cheyenne Knight, how are you doing?
Thank you. I'm so good. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So how was your drive?
It was very interesting and it was very long, but we made a couple of pit stops. We stopped at Waffle House, which is like tradition for music gigs. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's great. Before we get started, you have brought some great folks with you here. Tell us a little bit about who's with you.
I got my daddy with me, who is always really supportive, and he's definitely a stage dad. And we're missing my mom, which I'm really sad about, but I know she's listening right now, so I love you, Mama. And we got Tony Viggins.
I think everybody knows Tony.
Of course, yeah. I mean, everybody in Georgia has to know Tony by now, but he's been a pretty awesome guy, and I'm so glad to know you. Are you tearing up over there? No? Oh, well, that's depressing. And then we have Penny, who's my guitar player's mom, and she's kind of been like a second mom to me, so I'm really glad to have met you, and I love you so much.
Oh, I love her, too. She brought us a whole bunch of cookies.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm, like, obsessed with this peppermint
so
chocolate
good.
chip, so Miss Penny, thank you for bringing us some stuff. Oh, that's so good. But Cheyenne, you are amazing. I've been following you thanks to Tony. Tony helps us find out about you guys in the northern part of Georgia, since we're down here in South Georgia. But I've just watched your growth with your career, and this is the first time we've met in person.
Yes,
but it's so awesome to watch just over months how your fan base has grown, and your songwriting and your voice is maturing even more, if that's even possible. It's getting better. That you're just so talented. Take us back you're welcome, to the beginning for you. And did your parents know as like a small child, like really small, that music might be something?
I started out at 106 West in Winder, which is my little hometown, and I started taking guitar lessons when I was 7, and I got a guitar for Christmas, and it was electric, and I was dying to play it, and then they told me you should really start out learning on acoustic, so that's what I did for a long time, and I really didn't like it at first.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, my fingers are killing me. This is not what I thought it was going to be, and finally they kind of talked me into it, and about a year later, I really started enjoying it, and I started writing music, and I really fell in love with it. And I think my parents always say, like, of course, we're your parents, like, we want to say that you're good. And so my mom's always like, well, we were telling everybody that you were good, but then we were like, wait, is she really that good? And then everybody else started saying, wow, she's really good. And so I think everybody started to believe that maybe this is something I can really pursue.
That's amazing. So what inspired you to want to play guitar in the first place?
I really just wanted a guitar because it looked cool.
Yeah.
So I asked Santa for a guitar, and of course he brought it. So
yeah. Santa's always going to take care of us for the things that we need. We have good Santa. So playing guitar, like you say, I remember when I first started to learn, your fingers hurt and you're sore, and you probably have small fingers like me, so learning the chords, always not so easy. But have you seen the more you've practiced and the more you've worked at it, you just keep getting better?
Definitely. I mean, it's always a work in progress, and you can always advance in your playing and your singing, so I'm still working on it. I'm definitely going to have to take a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. Have you been singing for a long time? I bet Dad is here, so he could probably answer that. As long as, have you been when you were a baby growing up?
Yeah, I started singing
in
church, and it just kind of took over from there.
Yeah. Do people, when they first met you, maybe in school, people you've grown up with, did they always know that you were the singer? Were you like the singer at school? Or?
No, not really. Like, I actually, because I'm still in high school and it's my senior year, and I'm really just trying to slide by right now. I'm so ready to graduate. I have like 150 something days left. I'm already on countdown, but really I just try to get through. And I mean, there's not really a lot of people that know me. Of course, my best friends, they all know that I perform, and this is something that I really want to do, but other than that.
Wow. Well, they would be shocked if they knew how you sound, and your personality is awesome. And guys, did you hear that? She is only 17, and she is this good. You're going to hear her sing in just a little bit. Not only are you in high school, you decided to go ahead and start college in school. Tell us about that.
That's been really interesting, too.
Yeah.
This semester was definitely a struggle because I got sick for about a month and I had to take some time off of school. And on top of that, I was trying to do college, so I had to come back to high school and make up a bunch of work. But I just finished my semester last night. I took my last final, so I'm done with my first semester of college, and I really could not be more excited, but I have to go back in a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, but enjoy it while you have it right now. Have the break. That's great. Let's talk about, because a lot of the artists we get, our show has grown just like you have. We have artists coming in from different states and different things. Tell us about the music scene where you live up in the northern part of the state.
There's so many talented local artists, and honestly, like, you would think that we'd be all really competitive, but we're all really close to each other. Derek Edwards, he's honestly like my big brother. We ride a lot, and we used to perform a lot, and I'm really excited that we get to perform next week, Thursday, at Cray's Tavern in Duluth. But also Chris Hamrick, he's been amazing toward me, and
Joe Hall, I know you play around with him a lot. And
Joe Hall, I got to play with his band, which is pretty awesome. That was my first time ever playing with a band all together, so that was really exciting. But Chris has really helped me out a lot, and he's thrown me a lot of bones, and I've got to open for him a bunch, so I'm really blessed to have met him and his band.
That's awesome. So, I mean, you just mentioned the music scene. People think about musicians, and they think, oh, that you're kind of competing for spots at the different places and the different venues, but you say it's not like that at all, really.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, of course, if you get a really awesome gig, like, of course you're going to take it instead of offering to somebody else, of course. But, I mean, we're really not that competitive. I think that it's more of, like, we respect each other and we all have a sort of love for each other, I guess you could say.
That's great. Let's talk about now the fact, I alluded to this a little bit earlier before we started the interview, but the fact about females in music. And in Georgia, there are not a whole lot of female artists.
Yeah.
So there's probably, it's a good thing because it sets you apart, but is there some pressure there with being a female, having to stand apart from the guys and making your own?
I really don't think so. I think it makes you more unique, and our songwriting techniques are definitely different from the guys, but
yeah, I think that's a great answer, because a lot of times we have guys in here. I love when I get a girl, because already the conversation is so much different than what it is with a guy. So I was awesome having you here. What about you said the first time you sang, you got on stage, it was kind of like a writer's round or like an open mic type thing
at 106 West.
Tell us about that.
I seriously thought I was going to pass out. It was so scary. I was only doing like a 30-second long song, and it was Spanish melody on guitar. I wasn't even singing, and I actually still have the video, and I really look pale in the face, and I looked like I was going to pass out. I was that nervous. But thank God it's not like that anymore.
Yeah. And you were 7 then, right?
Yeah, I was 7.
Okay, so you're a 10-year veteran now. You got it going on now.
I should be getting a little bit better.
If you had to talk about some people looking back and growing up, you're still growing up, but some of the artists who you have liked or that you have watched and learned from, who are some influences?
For sure, Gretchen Wilson, and I really like Casey Musgraves, mostly because her songwriting technique, like, she isn't afraid to say what she wants to say, and she really doesn't care if you like it or not, and I really value that.
And you said this is not to bring it up a lot, but you said people look at you and your songwriting and they think about another lady, Taylor Swift, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
A tad bit frustrated, only because I feel like Taylor Swift really does write only about guys. And I mean, she's getting older now. She's like 20-something, right?
Yeah, 25 or something.
Yeah, and so she should be experiencing a little bit more than guys at this point. But for me, I always write about what's going on in my life, so everything's really realistic. And of course, I'm a teenager, so I'm going to write about guys right now, but there's also other stuff going on in my life, so that's not the only thing that I write about.
And we're going to get into songwriting, because that is what you are. You are a songwriter, and
Absolutely.
You are a performer and a guitarist and all this good stuff. Are you ready to play a song?
Yeah,
we're about 10 minutes in, and I'm ready to hear you sing. So let's tell us about this first song you're going to play.
So this one is about a guy that I just got out of a relationship with a couple of months ago, and he was the one that got me sick, by the way. Can I just say? Yeah, and so I'm not very happy with him, but he went to my church, and that's how we met, and I thought that he was, like, God's greatest gift. I was like, this is the guy I'm going to marry. Like, I just knew it was going to happen. My parents thought that, too, and I started figuring out, like, he's not as great as he's saying that he is. And he told me, like, I want to become a preacher when I get older and everything. And I was like, oh, my God, that's so awesome. Like, I love God, too. Like, let's do this. And he just wasn't that great of a person. Like, everything was just lie after lie. And so I kind of wrote this song, and it's called You're Not Perfect, because he definitely was not anywhere near it.
Oh, you go, girl. Let's hear it.
They say I finally got it right. I finally found the perfect guy. Don't mess it up this time. They think of you as a saint and say that I shouldn't have any complaints. But they don't know you like I do. They don't know anything about you. They think you read from the Bible and Jesus is your best friend, and you have a conversation with God at every night's end. But you're not perfect. Please explain that to them. They know about your past, but they just look over that. They think of you as a real gentleman, 'cause you open the door when I walk in. But they don't know you like I do. They don't know anything about you. They think you read from the Bible and that Jesus is your best friend, and you have a conversation with God at every night's end. But you're not perfect. Please explain that to them. No, you're not perfect, and I'll show them. Sometimes you read from the Bible and Jesus can be your best friend, and you have a conversation with God every now and again. But you're not perfect. No, you're not perfect. No, you're not perfect. And I refuse to pretend.
Oh, you are so good. You guys, could you
Thank you.
believe she is 17 and she already is writing that good and sounds that good? Girl, you are awesome. So you have to tell me, does the guy you wrote that about, does he know, has he heard it?
He has to. I mean, of course, I deleted him off of Facebook, like, right after I found out he got me sick. So I was like, I'm done with you. But
There you go.
my mom was still friends with him, and I performed it out, I think, at Craze Tavern, actually, and we posted it. And so my mom was like, shout out to the Heartbreaker. So he has to know.
Go, Mom. All right. So songwriting, that has to be like going through the different things like you're going through. That has to be somewhat of like a release for you to get it out.
Definitely. I mean, anytime that I have a difficult time dealing with something, I'm always in my room writing about whatever's happened during the day.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about when you first started to write, do you remember, did it come natural for you? Was it just something for fun?
It was a struggle for sure, but
Yeah.
I wanted to do those open mics at 106 West because I want to, like, to show people what I can do, and the only way that I could do open mic is if I had original songs. I couldn't do cover songs, which of course at the time I wanted to play Taylor Swift because that's what was on my mind. But it's funny because I found a notebook that had old songs in it when I first started writing, and they were terrible. They were
What were
absolutely
they about?
terrible.
Do you remember?
Like, one of my friends that was a girl, I don't even know, like, she was trying to steal my personality or something, I think, in the back of my mind. And so it was a really bad song, but I'm so glad that they're not like that anymore.
Yeah. Oh no, they're very good songs.
Thank you.
Have you seen the older you've gotten and the more experiences that you've had, you've been able to just your songwriting is, yes, you probably don't want to say, yes, my songwriting is amazing, but it really is how you're able to tell a story and be relatable. Like you said, you're writing about what you're going through, and that's important to you, that you stick to what you know, right?
Yeah, of course.
And being only 17, like you said, the boys is something you go through. What are other things that you see that you write songs about and that you have around you?
Well, actually, one of the songs that I'm about to play next, it's actually a song about my sister, who is 21, and she has a 1-year-old baby now. And Christmas of last year, she left 2 days after Christmas, and she wrote a note, and she pretty much said, like, I'm gone, don't try to find me.
Oh my gosh.
And I was really close to my sister. Of course, I don't know if you have any siblings or not, but a sister bond is something completely different from anything else. And in a way, she was kind of like my mom, because she taught me the ropes kind of like my mama does, and she was a big part of my life, and it was something that I had to deal with. And for a long time, like, that's all that we talked about was, like, my sister's gone and she's taken her baby, who, I helped raise that baby for, like, 3 months. And so it was a big challenge, I guess you could say. And now it's my senior year, so it's like she's missing out on a lot. In my music career, like, this is my first radio interview. Like, you're missing Cheyenne music history right now.
That's right.
It's definitely been something difficult.
Wow. But you're able to take that's difficult, and probably have other people been able to look at your songs and be like, I wanted to say those things, or I have felt those things.
Sure.
And
I was at Craze Tavern, and that was, I think, the second time I'd ever played the song out, and I had a girl start crying when I was playing, and I was choking up too, because this is an emotional topic, and every time that I play it out, I'm kind of like a little shaky, because it's a tough subject for sure.
Well, since we've talked about it, we want to go ahead and play it.
As well.
All right. What's the name of this one?
This one is called Run You Off.
Okay. This is Cheyenne Night live here in our studio.
Thought I had it all figured out. This is everything I had dreamt about. But my world came a-crumbling down when you left. To cope with the fact that you're gone, and I replay everything I did wrong. And every word that came rushing out of my mouth. And I take back what I said to you. You know I didn't mean to run you off. And I take back everything I did. And I really do wish I hadn't run you off. And I still go into your room, 'cause it still smells just like you. Seems like it froze in time when you left. Sometimes I sleep in your bed, pull the covers way over my head, drift off into a fantasy world with you. And I take back what I said to you. You know I didn't mean to run you off. take back everything I did, and I really do wish I hadn't run you off. I take back everything I said to you. You know I didn't mean to run you off. I take back everything I did, and I really do wish I hadn't run you off.
Girl. Oh my goodness. Your dad was right about the tissues. Oh my gosh. To be able to put that into words and sit down and write that had to be, first of all, difficult, but it probably has helped you some, right?
Lot, so much. I can't even describe. I mean, anytime that I'm dealing with something that's really heart-wrenching and I'm trying to get over it, that's definitely what I do. I mean, it helps the fact, but it doesn't take away the pain, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And I know you do wish your sister was a part of what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And I know she still is inside of you, but you have a great fan base and a great support system.
Yeah, I love my family.
Yes, your dad is here with us today, as you mentioned.
He's tearing up over there, too. I'm about to start crying.
Oh, my goodness. Dad, thanks for coming today and being an awesome supporter. Your mom is listening as well.
Of course, she's probably crying right now, too.
Oh. Well, thank you to Mom for listening as well. And just, you can't do this without your family.
No, and I mean, so many people have told me, like, you're so lucky to have parents who support you like they do. Mm-hmm. Because my parents, they push me so hard sometimes, and it really ticks me off at moments. But ultimately, I'm glad that they do it because it's helping me succeed in my dream.
Mm-hmm. And you can't do it without them. I like your dad's classes too. Those are awesome. All right, you've done so much already. You're only 17, but you've done so much. You're doing college in high school, which is so cool. Tell us about the Georgia Music Awards. That's a really big deal.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Yeah, I got nominated year before last, and I mean, I didn't think that it was gonna happen. Like, I didn't even think I was gonna get nominated, and of course I didn't win the award, but it was a good experience to be nominated, and it's really a blessing, actually. Mm-hmm. And for me to be nominated twice in a row, like, that's awesome. So I'm really excited. This year I can't go into the youth category because I'm going to be 18 by the time the music awards come around. But hopefully we can steal the whole lady title of country music.
There you go. And you were nominated for Georgia Music Awards Youth Country,
yes,
right?
Ma'am.
Youth Country nomination. And just being, like you said, being nominated out of all of Georgia.
And getting the whole experience. I mean, it's amazing getting to walk the red carpet. And Kimberly James has really been, she's been amazing. She's part over the music awards, so I kept in touch with her a lot. Mm-hmm.
And yes, we need to make sure that you get on the female ballot now.
Oh, yeah.
Or the country, whatever the next one you can go in is. You've done that. You've also, you have a CD out now. Tell us about that.
I recorded an album in 2012. I actually won Lil Burn Idol in 2012, and I got 5 hours free recording studio time. So awesome. I was like, we're going to go in and record a CD. And I decided to do an all-acoustical album. I wanted it to be completely real. Like, I didn't want any auto-tune. I didn't want any more instruments. I just wanted you to be able to hear what I do, and that's me and my guitar. So we did an acoustical album, and honestly, I can go back on the songs, and I can say, oh, my God, that sounds absolutely terrible. Like, what was I thinking?
Of course, you're going to say that, though.
But, I mean, it's because I'm always growing, and so it's hard for me. I've actually decided the next time that I go into the studio, I want to do one single, and I want full band, and I want to play it on the radio like crazy. And that's my goal, is to be able to put it on all sorts of radio stations like 94.9, of course, here, WTIF. And I don't want to do a full album next because my voice is constantly changing. And I didn't think about that in 2012 when, you know, I was still like younger and inexperienced. But at this point, like, I want to do one song so that way if my voice does grow, then I can go back in and record again.
Yeah, and you showed me a photo before we started the interview. You, girl, are a songwriter if there ever was one. You have how many songs, you think?
I have at least 50 completed, but as I showed you in that picture, it's on my Facebook and Instagram and everything, I laid out every song that I had never finished, and there were about 80 pieces of paper, and they were like miscellaneous papers, and I had like notebook paper, and then just weird sheets where, like I use markers sometimes because it just whatever you can get to next.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. And you're probably all the time getting ideas and writing.
Constantly.
God, that's crazy. How do you think you will choose the single when it comes to that time? You have a lot to choose from. How are you going to base that one song that you go in it? Is it going to be what your fans think, your personal thoughts? What do you think?
I think it's going to be something that I think everybody can really relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's either going to be the one that I read about my sister, Run You Off, or...
Oh, goodness.
Oh, gosh, we just had stuff drop in the studio. But,
It's okay. Go ahead.
Or some song about a guy, because, of course, everybody's selling guys right now. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you have time, though. I know. That's going to be really cool. I'm sure that's going to be so difficult to choose one song out of all the ones you write. How does writing, speaking of songwriting, how does it work for you? Are you one that has to be inspired, or can you say, I'm about to write a song and sit down and write it?
It's usually inspiration. Of course, I could sit down and write a song about a pencil or something, and it's obviously not going to be as good because I'm not really feeling the pencil or anything, but definitely inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have an amazing talent, and to be able to write, are you good at writing stories and writing school papers and stuff?
Oh yes, I'm in AP Literature right now, and everybody's like, how are you making such good grades on these essays? And I'm like, I don't know. I enjoy writing. It's something I really like doing.
Mm-hmm. You're just a great writer, and that makes it come natural.
Thank you.
Right now, you're working with a band, right? Working on putting a band together.
Working on putting one together, yeah.
Yeah, talk about that process a little bit.
That's been very interesting. I went through about 2 different people that I've tried putting a band together with, and it did not work out very well. And it's really hard with different genres colliding.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you have a more experienced player, then they can do whatever genre you want them to, pretty much. And actually, Penny, who's in the studio with us that made the really amazing cookies, her son, Chris, is my official guitar player now. We've been working together, and I'm super excited to see what ends up happening. And I'm still trying to put other people into the band right now. So,
But you play a couple instruments. I know you've taught yourself keyboard, so that helps out a little bit.
Yeah.
Play guitar. Is there anything else you play?
I used to play saxophone in middle school, but that really was not my thing. So,
but that's been a family thing, right?
Yeah, it's been passed down generation to generation. So my dad played saxophone, and then my sister played saxophone, and then I played saxophone, and then it just kind of stopped at me.
Yeah.
So.
Now you're the rock star.
Oh yeah, guitar player.
Country singer, guitar player. That's cool. Working on, you do play with the band though pretty regularly with church, right?
Yeah, I love playing in my praise band at church. It's not only is it giving me a connection to God and allowing me to thank Him for giving me this amazing talent and gift, but it's also been a really good experience because I'm learning all sorts of things. Before I went into there, I had no idea how to harmonize, and they've really been generous in teaching me the ropes of harmonizing. So I enjoyed it a lot, and every Wednesday, I'm there at church and I'm performing, so I love it. And it gives me experience playing with a band, too, on top of that.
Right. Yeah, because it may not be your original songs, but you're getting in that groove and knowing what it's like to work with other people, which is different than by yourself.
It's so different because, now I have to rely on other people, and other people are relying on me. So it's difficult, but hopefully it'll be worth it in the end.
Oh, girl, it will be. You'll be great. What has been one of your favorite venues? You get to play at some really cool places all around the Atlanta area and in North Georgia. Tell us some of those places and which one is probably your favorite.
For sure, Wild Bill's was my favorite venue because it was just interesting to see all the people out there that were definitely wasted, and I'm 17, so of course I can't drink, so it's always funny to watch them. But I'm really thankful that Chris Hamrick let me open for him, and it's been an experience.
And you play there? You're talking about the Craze Tavern, and what are some other places you play?
Red Clay Theater in Duluth. That I go there a lot to do a songwriters open mic, and it's really cool there because if you get first place, you get picked for. You all play 2 songs, and then you go back and they'll pick 3 people for the finalist. And you go back up and play one more song, and the 3 people compete for first place, and the first place winner gets $100.
Wow.
And they also get put into the shootout where every first place winner gets, I think it's like every 6 months or something, they do a shootout. And so all the first place people will play at the shootout, and then if you win first place there, you get like $1,000, I think.
All right. And you're working towards maybe getting to that?
Yeah, hopefully. I've finalized at least, I think, 3 or 4 times now.
Oh.
And Eddie Owens is the owner of it, and I absolutely adore him. I mean, he is so sweet, and like, I'll go backstage, and usually it's freezing, and I'm always cold anyways, and so I'll be like, I have to play guitar, so my hands have to be warm, and I'll go back and like blow on my hands to try to get them warm. He's so sweet. I love him to death.
That's cool. You're playing at all kinds of places. You have a show tonight that you're going to be doing as well.
Yeah, I do. I'm so excited. I get to do, I think it's called Elf on a Shelf Dinner in Lawrenceville, and I get to lead people in Christmas carols.
That's always fun.
Yeah, I mean, that should be interesting, though, because, you know, when you have a Christmas song, you usually just kind of, like, sing along to it, and you don't know all the words.
Right.
So now everybody's looking at me, so that way they can pick up on the words that I'm singing, so that should be interesting tonight. Maybe on the way back home, I'll Google some Christmas songs.
And make your whole car sing with you.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea.
I think so.
We'll just have to turn the music up really loud. I'm kidding.
Oh, man. Does Dad sing?
Somewhat.
He says, somewhat. But Cheyenne's the singer of the family. Yeah, I think you can hear Dad a little bit in the background. No doubt she is a singer. A lot of our folks have been walking by that work here, and they're like, wow, she's good. I can see them through the windows, so we'll have to take you around.
I'm facing the opposite direction, so I can't see anything going on.
Yes, we have a big window in here, and they've all been like, oh, she's good. And we've been getting all kind of Facebook posts of people listening and watching. We'll just give them a shout out. We have a Marv Hart. I don't know if you know Marv. He's in North Carolina, a great listener of ours. He says, she sounds awesome. That young lady has a lot of talent.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Lauren says you did great. I know you know Lauren.
Aw, thanks, Lauren.
And Lisa Fulcher, do you know her?
Of course,
yes,
yeah.
She says, one amazing songwriter, not to mention her beautiful voice.
Oh, I love you.
So there you go. We got some people listening in right now. We wanted to give them a quick shout out. Chris Garner listening too. He said sounding good. So,
hey.
Yes, and I have, if you guys want to check out Cheyenne, I have posted a link to her fan page. Go there. You're trying to get a whole bunch of likes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get 700. I don't know how many we're at right now, like 680 something. So you guys go like it. Oh, 694. See, we're almost there.
Yes, maybe some of our listeners have went and liked, but please go like that and help her get her fan base up. You have a website as well?
Yes, ma'am, I do, CheyenneKnight.com, and you can pretty much check out everything on there. There's videos from YouTube on there, and I actually did a professional music video, I guess you could say, on my song Something About You, which you can check out. My cousin, well, married-in cousin, he actually did it for me, and I absolutely love it. It's a really cool video.
And on your website, as she said, you can find the music, you can find out all of her upcoming shows, videos. I like the Making Memories tab.
Oh yeah, that's definitely new. Every time that I have a fan come up to me at any venue, we take a picture, and their picture gets posted on the Making Memories side. And you can also sign the guest book on the website, too, to let me know that you were there.
And for booking information, it's on there as well. And
yes, ma'am.
You are available to come back down here if somebody hears you on the radio?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, just go to the website, CheyenneKnight.com, and you can find the information. Ooh, I see a really cool armband that has her website, too. So
we always have wristbands at any venue we go to, and some of them glow in the dark, so that's really cool.
That's cool. I'll have to test this one out later. All right, Cheyenne, this is so great having you here with us today. You are just so talented. I'm telling you, people have been walking by like, wow, that doesn't happen every time either, that they're like, wow, she's really good. You have another song you were planning on playing.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Tell us about it.
So there's this guy that I dated for like 6 months, and that was probably my longest relationship. I know that's hard to believe, right? No, I'm kidding, but he got me this teddy bear for Valentine's Day, and it was a life-size teddy bear. It was awesome, and I fell in love with it, and I slept with it like every night. And then he broke my heart, and so I wanted to burn the teddy bear.
Right.
But my mom was like, Cheyenne, don't do that. That's a bad idea. And for the longest time, like, of course, I still loved him. Like, even though you were like a jerk and you messed with my heart and everything, I still love you. So this song's called Keep On Lovin' You.
Okay.
was thinking today that I miss the way you used to hold me. And I miss your laugh, and I know it's sad, but I just can't get over you. Do you think of me at night before you go to sleep? 'Cause I think of you and I just don't know what more I can do. 'Cause I can't make myself clear you out of my mind, so you stay there all the time. And your stuff, it still sits in my room, and I don't think that I can ever make it move. So I'm gonna keep on loving you. And I was thinking tonight that I miss the light that used to shine in your green eyes. And I miss the way you used to say you love me more than anything. Do you think of me at night before you go to sleep? 'Cause I think of you and I just don't know what more I can do. 'Cause I can't make myself clear you out of my mind, so you stay there all the time. And your stuff, it still sits in my room, and I don't think that I can ever make it move. So I'm gonna keep on loving you.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. And once again, it's Cheyenne Knight. She is live here in our studio, and we have had such a great time.
Thank you
far.
so much for having me.
Yes. So we want to wrap things up. I want to know, if folks do go to one of your shows, and it's one of your shows, probably not like tonight because you're going to be doing a lot of Christmas, but one of your regular shows, if folks go to one of your shows, describe kind of what they're going to get from checking you out.
You're going to get a really good time. Like, I try to play songs that are definitely party songs, like country party songs, and I try to keep it upbeat, and of course, I'm going to have my little sad, depressing songs about guys and everything, but you get the full Cheyenne Knight experience.
Awesome. The full Cheyenne Knight experience. I like that. And I asked you this question before we started, and you weren't really sure how to answer it, but I'm going to ask you towards the end, so maybe you've had some time to think. When we've heard your kind of country, your voice is so unique. I think you could fit really in any
That's
genre.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's difficult to decide how to describe it, because it's definitely, I mean, most of it, of course, is love songs. So, like Sarah Bareilles, like she's not really in a genre. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's difficult to pick something, but I definitely want to go into country, and mostly now modern country is country pop, and so you really don't have a lot of the older stuff like George Strait or anything, but I don't know. I think it's country pop, and it's very realistic, and it's something that everybody can connect to.
Right. And it's so amazing that she's only 17, and to think about what you're going to be just next year, and how your voice is going to be.
Yeah, constantly changing.
Yeah, and we can't wait to get more music from you. We want to continue to play your music if that's cool with you.
Yeah, of course. That's
we'll
awesome.
Put it in rotation and play it. We've already got some of them in there. But you mentioned you are available for booking if anybody's interested.
Yes,
what should they do?
You should contact me from my website. The information's on there. I think there's a phone number and like an email. And so you just send me an email or whatever, and I'll definitely get back to you.
All right. And that website, once again, is CheyenneKnight.com. So everybody go and check that out. All right. Well, it has been awesome having you here.
Thank you for having me. This has been awesome. It was definitely worth the crazy drive.
And thank you to all of your family and friends that came as well. We appreciate y'all coming down. And will you come back sometime?
Of course.
In the near future, maybe?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Anytime.
That would be great. All right. Well, Cheyenne Knight has been our Artist Spotlight this week. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to have more coming up right here on 107.5 and 105.7. All right.
So much fun.
Was that good?
Thank you.
We cover everything?
Sorry, I dropped it.
Oh, it's okay. It is okay.
My restless
leg kicked in as soon as she started.